How are you? I hope you had a fabulous day. I'm not sure when you're watching this, if you're watching the replay. I hope you have your favorite beverage with you watching this. I'm excited to be here and talk to you about the fact that it's time for you to implement. If you are in business, which is probably why you found this page and you found me, you know that it's all about implementing. Yes, you have to learn all the strategies, and you're probably like me a couple of years ago, binge watching YouTube tutorials, downloading every single free webinar possible, and learning, yet not putting anything into action. And I want to stress with you in this video that it is extremely important that you understand that the only way for you to progress is for you to start implementing. Information is great. Don't get me wrong. Knowledge is power. However, you will learn even more when you start implementing. First time meeting me, hi, it's very nice to meet you. My name is Martine Cadet. I am a social media coach, content coach, and online business coach for female coaches. And what I do is I help them use social media, particularly Instagram and Facebook, in order for them to get clients organically. And that is what I focus on. So, honey, if you are thinking of becoming a female coach, or you are a female coach right now and you're struggling understanding how to use social media to get clients, I would love to invite you to come into my Facebook group, and I would love to invite you to follow this page if you are on my Facebook business page. So I know for me, a long time ago, I used to just take in all the information that I could find. I would binge watch and create my own private playlist on YouTube of all the tutorials possible that I could find when it came for anything that has to do business development. I was saving that stuff. And I was trying my best to understand it and just gathering all the information. But the truth is, I realized that a lot of the information was overwhelming me, and I felt lost. I was not focused. I felt anxious, and I didn't know what I was doing, honestly. And it's not until I decided to make it a focus for myself to actually put everything that I was gathering information-wise and actually implement it and learn along the way, I started seeing, traction and things happening in my business, right? So my point here is that if you have a course right now that you are in, that you purchased, and you feel like you never looked at any of the modules, you never worked on any of the workbooks, and you feel overwhelmed, the question that I have for you is, honestly, boo, first of all, ask yourself the question, why did you even think of investing into this group coaching or whatever course you invested in and not be able to implement what you learned? Okay, it is extremely important for you to put your hands in that fire. That's how you're going to learn even more. Now, it's even more critical when you invest into a coaching program and you go in and implement as you're taking that coaching program, because that's when you're going to learn even more. Because if you are just going into this coaching program because you're like, okay, I'm investing in this, so I'm going to have the answers. But honey, if you don't do the work, nothing is going to happen. Your coach is giving you the guide to do the work, but if you don't implement, you will not see the results that you expected to see by investing your hard-earned money into this program. Okay, and I'm only speaking to this because I've been there, I've done it. I'm currently being coached by 2 different coaches, and trust me, I'm able to see results because I implement. And every time I implement, I don't get it right away. Hence why it is important that you implement while you are taking the course, so that way the coach that is teaching you how to do these things is able to support you even better. Can you imagine if you bought a a course and then the coach was available to you and then you never implemented, and the next thing you know the program is over and you're like, freak, I never implemented any of this stuff. Now I'm stuck by myself to figure out how to do this. It's like going back to the fact that you were binge watching YouTube. What was the point of you investing in this? You know what I mean? And I'm bringing this up because I say this to my clients, like when you apply to work with me and coach with me one-on-one, you have an entire intense form to fill out. And one of the key questions that I'm asking you to really validate if you're ready to coach with me is how focused, how hungry, how big is your desire, how big is your why, right? And depending on your answer, that's how I'm going to know if you are committed to showing up, if you are committed to implementing the things that I'm guiding you through to do in order for you to learn, right? Because if you are not committed, if you are not focused, if you don't give yourself a time stamp and say to yourself, if I show up for this, I will get my results. If you don't have that mindset, you're going to feel overwhelmed. So here's my advice to you. If you are exploring hiring someone to coach you, or if you're exploring to get into a group coaching program to help you elevate your business online, your coaching business online, here's what I would say to you. Make sure that before you decide to invest, obviously understand what this program is about, that it is that you want to go in, ensure that it is going to potentially bring you the results that you're looking for. Once you make that decision, which as an entrepreneur, you need to make decisions. Once you make that decision, also make the decision with yourself and the commitment to yourself that you are going to show up for yourself into this program, into this transformation in order for you to see the results, okay? The program is structured for you to go through a journey, but it's not going to transform if you don't show up and if you don't do the work in order for you to see how much of an impact what you're learning is actually being, actually working. You're not going to get any results. You're not going to see anything happening. So I'll give you a perfect example. I know for me, earlier this year, when I was going through my coaching program with my coach, I was implementing everything. And thank goodness I implemented when I did, because as I was doing it and I was being coached by her about it, whatever it was that I was working on at the time, if I did not show up and shared how I implemented, I would not have gotten from her the feedback of stretching me even further and really diving in even deeper into what it is that I was building for me to come back fully and excited with something else. You follow what I'm saying? So if I never showed up to the live calls, if I didn't show up to do the worksheets, if I didn't show up to give my feedback, I would not have been able to progress. So I'm all about striving for progress. I don't believe in multitasking. I don't believe that you need to stay up and kill everything that you're supposed to be doing, and really affect your health, affect the people around you, the people that you care for. I don't believe that you need to change your entire way of living in order for you to invest in yourself. What I do believe, however, is for you to commit and say, this is something that I want to do for myself. It's temporary. I am going to look at the activities that I usually do, understand where can I, change things around in order for me to show up with a purpose, to show up for my goal, to show up for my focus for this. So if, for example, that means that you have to wake up 1 hour earlier than usual to invest you into this program, this coaching transformation, then that's what you do. Or if it means that on Friday nights when you usually hang out with your girls, every Friday night, you know what? You break that down to once every month for that time. You have to be honest with yourself and say, this is something that I want. You commit to it, you show up, you say, this is my goal, and you have to take the responsibility to show up, and you have to take the responsibility to implement. Like I said, there's a lot of information out there. But the thing about it is, when you invest into something that is supposed to help you, guide you through to scale your business, that's because you understand that, yes, there's information, but one, you don't have time to piecemeal it all together and make it all make sense for you. One, you're tired of researching and you want an expert to really walk you through what it is that you need to know. Once you make that decision and say, you know what, I'm going to invest in myself because this is something that I need for the long term of my business survival or my business start, you need to show up. I cannot even tell you, I do not work well with clients that commit to do these things and then they cancel the calls, they don't show up, they don't implement. It's very difficult for me to be able to support them if they're not willing to show up. Okay, it's important. Think about it when you went to school. Okay, if you go to school every single day, which you did when you were little, you went to school every single day, you had lessons and everything. If you did not go to school every single day and then one day you decided to go and then they gave you a pop quiz and you're like, what is this, right? You wouldn't have known what to do. So it is important for you to show up for class. It is important for you to do the homework. It is important for you to ask questions. And I understand life gets in the way. I'll be the first one to tell you this. I have 2 kids. I have a day job. Life gets in the way. And whoever you decide to hire will understand that. Your coach will understand that and will adjust. And then the other thing is, you got to remember, as you implement, okay, your coach will be able to understand your pace and will be able to support you. And you as a coach, you need to think about this as well. As a coach, when you start having work with clients, think about them and where they are and understand how they're reacting to the guidance that you're giving them. Is it too fast? Is it too slow? Are they trying to, ask too many questions too fast? So this is your job. This is your responsibility. And all of these things, I'm able to speak to them because I was there. I remember working with my first coach and wanting to start what we had planned as session 12 to start that when we were in session 3. And, it's not going to work. You have to follow the course. You have to implement, and you have to grow as you go. And unless you implement, you will not know where you go wrong. You will not know how to course correct. Follow what I'm saying? So information is great. You can gather as much information as you want. It's out there. Go on YouTube, go on Google. But bottom line is, it's all going to be based on how you show up, how you implement the work, the information that you've gathered, how you process it your way and your style for your brand and your goal. That is how you get the results, okay? So if you are, even if you're watching the replay, do put in the comments, have you been coached before? Answer 1 if you have, and answer 0 if you haven't been coached before. And be completely transparent. The reason why I'm asking you this is because that will help me guide you through even further to understand where you are in your journey. And what I would suggest you to do, whether you answered 1 or 0, I would invite you to come into my Facebook group. Why? Because we are female coaches in this group using social media to get clients organically. And we talk about tools, we talk about strategies, but we also talk about mindset and online business building. And I'm pretty sure you are in a lot of groups, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm in a lot of groups as well. It's actually something that I definitely tell my clients to do, is to join groups, and I have a whole strategy behind that. But Ideally, what we're trying to do in the group that I've created is to help you understand the framework of how to do your content marketing in order for you to get clients organically. Social media is changing. Social media marketing is changing, and it's changing really, really fast. The platforms are changing. Instagram is changing constantly. And how do you keep up with that to ensure that you continue to stay top of mind with your personal brand? How do you make sure that you share content that is actually going to reach your target clients? Those are the things we talk about, and I support you in there. And those are things that you can use for yourself to create your own content, or that you can use to outsource and have your VA do it. But at the end of the day, you got to know what you want first, right? If you know what you want, then you create accordingly. So that is why I make it such an important deal to understand as a business owner what your content strategy needs to be, should be, how it should feel when you are promoting online for your brand and positioning it, because it is important. And you're watching this because I'm guessing you understand that social media is important for the survival of your business as of today. Okay, let's be honest. Facebook is here and it's here to stay. And even if it's not here to stay, there is a strategy behind the fact that you got to build your online presence in a way where you're using Facebook and Instagram as your marketing tool, and ensure that you build your community. And there's a whole back end thing that you got to do to make sure that you don't lose that community should Facebook disappear, Instagram disappear one day, right? These are tools. So how are you leveraging them? How are you optimizing them in an organic way for you to get clients and not have to pull your hair out figuring out what the hell you're going to post on Instagram tomorrow? Okay, because I'm all about 20% of my time I spend creating my content, planning my content, posting my content. 80% of my time I spend engaging and creating real, genuine relationships. And that is what I want you to learn to do. But you gotta implement. You gotta implement. You gotta go in and do the work. And that is how you are going to learn. And that is how you're gonna be able to get as much support as possible from the coach that you decide to hire, from the program that you decide to invest in. It's by implementing. Don't be stacking up e-courses. Don't be stacking up webinars. Don't be stacking up all these things and not do anything with them. Okay, it's not serving you. It's not serving you. So I really want to make you understand that yes, you're behind on the modules. You're behind on doing the work. You're stressing yourself out. You're like, oh my God, I haven't done any work. Stop for a second. Think about the first day when you saw this program, when you saw this coach. What were you feeling? You were feeling relief. You were saying to yourself, yes, this is what I need for my business. This is what I need for myself to move forward. That's the feeling you had. Go back to that feeling. Go back to the why you decided to put that credit card in, why you decided to schedule that discovery call, why you decided to go all in. Go back to that and say, this is why I did this. So I'm going to make sure that I allocate time away from things that I know that I can juggle differently for the time being, for me to catch up, to really show up, because this is really serious for me. This is something that I want. This is something that I believe in. This is something that I invested in because I know this is a transformation that I need. That's how you felt when you saw it. That's how you felt when you met your coach, right? So that's what I'm suggesting you to do, because I know for me, I've been there. I even remember when I hired my second coach, my second investment this year with my second coach. I felt that I was at a point when we first started the whole program and the session, I want to say about 6 weeks into it, I was overwhelmed. I felt behind, and I was looking at all the other girls, sharing their progress. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why am I not getting this? And, I showed up and I shared that with the coach, and I said, I don't know what's going on. And she was there. She was present with me, and she guided me through. She grounded me back on. She put me back on track. I re-engineered everything that I was doing on a daily basis to be able to show up for what it is that I decided was so serious for me, was so, my love for it was in. And I said, you know what? This is something that I made a decision on to invest. I have to show up for myself. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Not even your coach. Not even your coach. It's all you. It's all on you. So hopefully this video gave you the motivation to go back and really understand your activities on a daily basis and really be honest with yourself. I would say line lists all the things that you know that you do on a regular, understand where you spend your energy, and identify where can you move some things around in order for you to show up for yourself and show up for what it is that you've invested in, because you want that transformation to happen. And the only way that transformation will happen is by you showing up. Same thing when you go to the gym and you want to lose 20 pounds. If you don't do the work and you don't work out and you don't eat right and you don't show up, you're not going to get the results. If you go back to some of the videos that I did, I don't remember which one it was, when I shared my experience recently going to the doctor. The doctor told me, okay, I'm going to give you this prescription, but you have to make an appointment with another doctor and so on and so forth. It all goes back to that. If I don't show up and pick up the phone and make that appointment or bring that prescription and pick it up at the pharmacy, I am not going to see the transformation that I want with my body, my health, or whatever issue that I have, right? So at the end of the day, the responsibility is on you. If you are overwhelmed, stressed out, go back to your why, go back to the reason why you even decided to consider going into this, and really don't beat yourself up, because life gets in the way. But the one thing you have control over how you spend your energy. If you know that you're scrolling on Facebook just to scroll, just to do, for like 30 minutes is a long time. Readjust your activities. I'll tell you, honestly, like for me, my Facebook, my personal Facebook, I made a decision, I want to say about a year ago, to still be friends with my friends and cousins and all of these people, for family. But what I did is I unfollow everybody because I decided that when I scroll through my Facebook feed, I want to be able to see the energy that I need in order for me to progress with my business. So what I see in my feed are my coach, posts, I see, all the things that I follow that I believe are invested things for my energy and my progress into my business. That's what I see. So I made that decision. I just unfollowed family. I'm still family with them. I still, occasionally go check out what they're doing, but it was a distraction for me before. Every other post was somebody, at the beach, somebody at a restaurant. I'm like, okay, this is distraction. And I use Facebook as a business, and I need to be able to see it as a business, right? So you got to make those rough decisions for yourself. Know that it's temporary, but you got to show up and you got to implement. Enough with the learning information, okay? Start doing the work in order for you to get the results. Start doing the work, and especially if you're in an active coaching program right now, do the work so you can get feedback and you can get more support while it's live. Take the opportunity. That's why you invested in it, right? So it is important for you to show up. It is important for you to put this top of mind for you, because you've invested in this and you got to show up, okay? So that was my message to you. Stop the learning, start implementing, learn from what you do, take notes, pay attention, and go back to your coaching program that you're in, or if you have a one-on-one coach right now, ask them questions so they can give you feedback on what you've implemented so you can progress and do even better, and not wait until it's all over and you don't have the support anymore. Okay, so that's really speaking to live coaching. I'm not talking about, the pre-made courses. I honestly, invested in one of those before. I'm not saying they're not good. They're great. They do what it is that they do, but I'm very big on the live coaching part, and that is what I offer is the live coaching where you work with me one-on-one and you implement, and I support you and I guide you through. I like that better. That's my style. But if you have a course that you purchased and you still haven't opened the first module because I don't know what's going on, you're just not feeling motivated, I'd say definitely try to do that this weekend. It's time for you to start implementing. Otherwise, you're not going to get the results, period. It all starts with you. It all starts with how you're showing up. So take a look at the way you are spending your time. There's an app that I use actually to help me track my time that I'd love to share with you. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Toggl, Toggl. It's a great app because what I would suggest you to do, and I tell my clients this, especially in the beginning stage of the coaching session, is to make sure to see what is open as far as time to work on content for social media, is to time block yourself, right? That's what I do. And that's what I teach my clients. So this app called Toggl, when you put it in, I would say use it for about a week, if not 2 weeks, and start tracking your regular activities. And what it's going to do, it's going to create some sort of report for you that kind of shows you the blocking times of things that you do. And then what do you do after that? Then you look at that and you say, you know what? I'm spending way too much time on Netflix. I'm spending way too much time, going to do laundry. I could do laundry, once every 2 weeks. You start adjusting your time, okay, to be more strategic, because this app tracks everything. Now you have to put it in. You have to type it in and say, okay, I'm going to eat now, and then it starts the counter, and then you stop it when you're done eating. So that's going to give you the exact time that you spent eating. It's pretty awesome. It's helped me. I truly believe that it's going to help you too, but tracking your time, understanding how you're spending your energy is absolutely a key skill to be a resilient entrepreneur, an entrepreneur with endurance, an entrepreneur with great, results and great energy is to know how you're spending your time. You have 24 hours. I have 24 hours. I work a day job. I go to my job from 9 to 6 o'clock. Okay, I say 9 to 5 because there's an hour of lunch, but from 9 to 6 o'clock every single day, Monday through Friday, for 40 hours a week, I am at work. Okay, I have 2 kids and I'm running this group that I have on Facebook, and I'm running my own content, and I'm also engaging and networking online and offline. And somebody from the outside is going to look and say, she's Superwoman. No, thank you for calling me Superwoman. But that's not what it is. I'm strategic with my time because I know the blocking times that I've allocated to do certain tasks and why I want to show up for them. And I intentionally want to implement what it is that I'm learning in order for me to have results, because I intentionally do that. And I've committed to doing that because I know that that's how you get results. And I'm all about progress. Okay, you have to take small steps. You have to take small wins and go along the journey. I don't believe in overnight success. I truly believe that everything has a season, and you have to go through the transformation in order for you to see the result. So hopefully this whole thing made sense to you. If not, you're watching this replay, you watched it all the way through. Thank you for that. Leave a comment, #replay, let me know you watched this. Make sure you come in my Facebook group. I'm going to be starting doing exclusive content more over there, training my female coaches trying to use social media to get their clients on Instagram and Facebook organically. So if that's something that you want, come on in, come in the group. I will see you inside. I'll see you in the next video. And by the way, today was day 4 of 30. I'm going live every single day for the next 30 days from Monday through Friday to talk to you just like this. So if you love this, do follow the page, subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, come to the group, have more conversation about what it is that I talk about. Come network with other female coaches, expand your business, and really intentionally want to progress and implement so that way you could see growth. And that's how it works. That's how it is. There's no magic pill, honey. You got to show up and do the work, boo-boo. And you got to show up, period. You got to be consistent. You got to be committed. You got to want it. And you got to be, all in. So if you're all in, let's do this. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.